Hey guys, it's Vic Merck with Team Relinquish. I'm here with Andrew. He was part of the team with Brian, where they got top 4 at the Versus 3v3 today. What deck were you playing today?
Virtual World.
Oh, yeah. You want to talk about your matchups, or you want to just go straight into the deck profile?
Talk about them at the end. It'll make a little bit more sense once I go through it.
All right.
Most of Virtual World, very standard. I'm not going to go over most of it. I'm just going to talk about a few things. I think there's a lot of misconceptions about what you should be playing.
All right.
In previous format. All right, so real quick. 3 Lulu. 3, 2. Not much to say.
Don't worry, same as my build.
Yeah, did cut the 2/2 because I kept on seeing it way too often, and I don't know. I have a love-hate relationship with that card because it can allow you to play through certain boards, but it's not worth seeing that many normals and that many cards that just don't do anything. So, standard lineup, still the same for all the spells and traps. 3. I know this is probably really annoying for you guys to see at home, but 2, 1. There's nothing to say about all this. If you're not playing these ratios,
same for a while.
I don't know what you're doing. Other than 2-2, that's just been the one debate for a while. All right, stuff to talk about. 2, 3. Okay, this is what we got to talk about. This card, for those that don't know what this card does, learn it. This card is amazing. Yes, it's a neg 1, but it is the most important neg 1 you'll ever have in this deck. Allows you to search pretty much any card. There are a few lines that you can't grab, like you can't grab Lao off of Gamma. That's kind of annoying, at least with the build that I'm playing. But it's so good. It's such a good card. It can allow you to grab side deck cards too, so if you get stopped, get Lancia, cool. I'm going to trade in my 1 card to get my own Lancia against Chargegate. Get Droll, whatever. Just grab it. Great card. People need to play it. People have been cutting this card even in the previous format without this. This is annoying to me. This card says search any of your names. Yes, you use up your 1 search. You have to rely on Lulu and all that, but consistency is one of the most important things with this deck. For that, you need to play, in my opinion, you definitely need to play it last format. I still think that you need to play it. I will say that I did not brick at all today. I had very subpar hands, and I'll talk about that at the end, but I did not brick all day because I was able to get to my stuff. Same thing with Prosperity. Yes, I get it. People want to play Desires. They want to see cards in their hand. Seeing the correct cards in this deck is way more important than seeing multiple cards that are just random. Especially if you're going into grindy games, which this deck can obviously grind. You don't want to be banishing all of your Neons, all of your Chuches, right? Playing this card means you can see your side deck more. It means that you can see the busted hands of City, Lulu, Gamma, which is just beautiful. Like, when you get hands like that, you're not losing. You get hands like this is what gets you to those. And if you're worried about banishing stuff in the extra deck, you shouldn't be. There's a lot of stuff that you can cut and go with that. And you'll see in mine, I am getting a little bit greedy with my extra deck, but whatever. So this card, bust. Alright. Last thing, hand traps. 3, 1, 2, 2, 1. Another kind of weird thing to talk about. This standard, you shouldn't have to ask that. I decided to play Nib over Ash. I felt like Ash does not do enough against Bird Up. It doesn't do enough against certain other decks, and this can just stop it. And there are a lot of decks where if they try to break through your board, cool, this is the last line of defense. You've got recursion. You stop them, you go off next turn, you're fine. Imperm, just a good card. If you're playing against the Bird Up version, they make Drago, whatever. It doesn't stop us. You're fine. Drawing it for 6 card, playing Prosperity, being able to grab that is amazing too. You know, like being the 1 small world targets, it's cheeky, and it won me quite a few games today. As far as the ratios go, I wanted to keep it 40. I did not want to play E-Tally. I don't think it helps you play through as many boards as people think it does. So I had to get some hand traps. Counting this card, that's, what, 8? Usually we play 9. That's close enough for me. As far as the ratios go too, I felt like going 2 and 2. Yes, you want to see monsters at a small world's life, but you also want to make sure that you have a card to set result. I was doing the math over the weekend, and it came up a little bit more often that I wanted a card to set for Zulkin, but you still want small world build. So it's just enough that I think this was the right ratio. In theory, at least. I'll go ahead and talk about the matchups. My personal record was absolutely absolutely terrible today. I got hard carried by these two lovely gentlemen over here. That being said, like in theory, works really well. Matchups, most of the important ones were Dogmatic, Shaddolls, which is a pretty good matchup for this deck anyway. Tri Brigade, which the Bird Up, and what was the third one? I don't know. I played a lot of random crap today. Bird Up is a deck. You have to worry about that a little bit, not nearly as much, because if they're blind going into the carrier statue, you're fine. You got so many ways to get around that, it's fine. Also, the Godara. Okay. Extra. 1, 2, 3, 4. Standard.
Pretty much standard, yeah.
1, 2. Standard. 1, 2. Standard. Here's where I get greedy. I'm playing both.
I was doing the same thing.
I'm playing both. This auto wins you a lot of games, but not all of them. Ones that you want, like Shadows, because this does nothing. Activate fusion, they run it over. Cool. Whatever. Window that can't be cheat shade. This says no Shadow fusion. You got to open up 2. If you open up 2, then well, okay, you got it. It's good. And also, you just get one with prosperity.
Yeah.
All right. Another spice. This you should be playing regardless. This card is amazing. Everyone should be playing this. Beatrice. I'll go ahead and show why. And the side, running this. If you get Lancia, this is plan B. This screws over a lot of decks.
Tri Brigade, Flunderies,
Flunderies. So I hard dropped this on a Flunderies player, and it just auto won me the game. It was kind of hilarious. But in a lot of matchups, that's just backup. And I have enough room in the extra 1,000. Alright, rest of the side should be pretty standard for almost every single deck out there. 3, 3, 3, and back row hate. These cards are amazing right now. This card's insane right now. We saw this coming for weeks. This card just blows everything out of the water. And then just back row hate. You can't play evenly, so you gotta play Storms. Everything else is like very self-explanatory. So nothing too crazy here. Yeah, I think that's about it.
Oh, wait, we have any shoutouts?
Shoutouts, teammates, of course, for hard carrying me through, Swiss, and then I actually did he's in the top guy. Shout out all Jacks, and shout out the boy Ethan Glocker for a fantastic teammate. Prevent Rat. How do you stop Prevent Rat? All right.
Oh, wait. Everybody have a nice night. Signing off.